everybody, I'm Tiffany, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review. Yay! The movie that I am reviewing is Suicide Squad. Whoop Whoop came out this year in the summer. So I have a story with this, sort of, because let's face it, Suicide Squad came out and not the best reviews and everything like that. Here's my story with this. I haven't read the comics or anything like that, so I'm pretty sure you comic fans have been waiting for the Suicide Squad movie for I don't know how long. When Jared Leto finished Dallas Buyers Club and won the Oscar, he announced shortly thereafter that he was going to be the Joker in the Suicide Squad. So I've been waiting for like however long that was, it was like a year probably, for this to come out. I've been watching the pictures get uploaded, see it slowly come together, and I've been super duper excited about this. Suicide Squad came out finally. Super excited. Had a bunch of people that I really liked in it, and what happened? The critics hated it, and on IMDb, I slowly saw the number dwindle and dwindle from like an 8 point something just down. And that was really disappointing, and I was a little nervous, but I made a decision to myself that no matter what, I was going to see this movie in theaters because I wanted to see it. I've been waiting forever. I was going to watch it. And as I probably mentioned in a previous video, I'm very easily entertained. A lot of movies that people don't really like, I really like. I was just kind of going in with lower expectations than when I started, but trying not to have any judgment on the film because knowing me, I probably like it. And guess what? I was right. I actually did enjoy Suicide Squad. Do I think it could have been better? Absolutely. There were so many things they could have done to make it better, but overall I did enjoy it. I had a wonderful time with it, and it was overall very entertaining. For those of you who haven't seen Suicide Squad, I would say probably go in with lower expectations. This is one of those movies that if you're putting them in super high expectations because of all the hype, it probably won't live up to it a little bit. And don't analyze it insanely, okay? That's the thing with movies, is that when people get over technical with it, it's a little bit annoying. Just have fun, go with the flow. It's a little bit of a weird flow, but still, it was overall really good. So give Suicide Squad a chance. If you don't want to see it in theaters, wait till it comes out on Redbox or on demand and then watch it then. And a lot of my friends like it too, so you know, I'm not like alone in the universe of people who like this movie. And for those of you who have no idea what in the world Suicide Squad is, first of all, you have not been paying attention to the news or anything movie related then, because Suicide Squad was one of the biggest anticipated releases of the summer, I'm pretty sure, if not the most anticipated release of the summer. Basically what Suicide Squad is about is that this lady ends up gathering this group of villains together in a Suicide Squad in order to protect the world. So it's a very different take because you're trying to control villains who usually destroy the world. Instead they're kind of trying to help the world with their own selfish motives type thing. For those of you who want statistics, it got a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb so far. I don't know if it's gonna go down more. It was at like an 8 and it dropped all the way down, which is really sad. But 6.8 isn't bad. On IMDb, here's the thing with superhero movies. Like 6s are still good. Like a lot of good movies are in the 6s range. 7s and up are usually like amazing movies. You're probably gonna enjoy them. What I find hilarious is that usually superhero movies end up getting like 7.9s, 8s, 8.1. When a superhero movie is considered bad, it gets like a 7.5 or lower. That, to me, an inclination of I'm probably gonna enjoy it because, guys, that's a decent rating. I'm not a comic book person, so probably part of it might be how close they are to the comics. I completely get that. But for me, a 6.8 isn't horrible or anything. It's like average movie. It's not your best movie. It's not your worst type thing. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Yeah. Don't know why I did that. This cast though is absolutely amazing, and I just want to say I think all of them did a pretty great job. Favorite by far is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She stole that entire show. Other people, actors who are in this, you have Will Smith as Deadshot. You have Jared Leto as the Joker. You have Viola Davis. I say Viola. Is it Viola? I think it's Viola Davis. Viola. I'm sorry I pronounced names wrong. She's the one who orchestrates everything, gets them all together. You have Jai Courtney as Boomerang. Loved Jai Courtney. He surprised me. I'll talk about that later though. Jay Hernandez as Diablo. You have Cara Delevingne as the Enchantress slash June Moon, the archaeologist. Then you have Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. So those are your main people. Scott Eastwood is in it too, in case you're curious about that. He's like Joel Kinnaman's sidekick. All of them were pretty great, like I said. Harley Quinn was definitely my favorite out of all of them. There's not much more I can really tell you, non-spoilery people. Go watch the movie for yourself, get your own opinion of it, and then you can come back and join me and rant to your heart's content. You might agree with me, you might absolutely be like, Tiffany, what in the world are you talking about? Who knows? This movie is very mixed. As people who don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you leave now, and I'm gonna go into spoilery stuff and all of that. Alright, thank you for joining me, non-spoilery people. Have an awesome day, watch the movie, and come back, alright? Bye! Okay, I think they're gone. Guys. We're gonna assume that they're gone. So, Suicide Squad. So like I said, it could have been better. Definitely. I want to talk about the individual characters real quick, just because there's so much stuff and it leads into other stuff and it just unravels perfectly, hopefully. Who knows? I just rant. Like I said, Harley Quinn was definitely my favorite character. Margot Robbie stole that show. I knew a little bit about her before actually seeing this movie and how her demeanor probably is because she's with the Joker. Well, I'm assuming she was a pretty accurate Harley Quinn. If I'm not right about that, I'm sorry. Deadshot. Will Smith. I liked Will Smith as Deadshot. The only thing I would say was that this is a villain I know absolutely nothing about. Like none of the others I know about. I didn't really know his character, how he was supposed to be in the comics and everything like that. Yo no sé. I did like his backstory, but I did feel like it made him more of an anti-hero than like an outright villain. Like the other villains are pretty much becoming anti-heroes, but all the other villains just seem very kind of maniacal and a little off the deep end, where Deadshot is more serious. He's awesome. He can shoot all he wants. He's scary in that way. For some reason, I didn't feel he was villainy enough, if that sounds weird. And I thought overall Will Smith did a really good job. Him and Harley Quinn are like the two characters that get the most backstory out of everybody. Of course, those would be two of my favorite characters. There's also Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney surprised me. He was Boomerang. Jai Courtney has such good comedic timing. Oh my gosh. It was just super funny. He just had these little quips here and there, which were really great. The scene in the bar when Joel Kinnaman is like, you all can go now, and Jai Courtney just books it out of there. That was hilarious. That might have been my favorite moment in the whole entire movie, was that, because that was great. You had Katana. I liked Katana's story. That is one story I wish they could have just expanded on. She was more a hero, I think, as far as I know. Maybe she's a villain in the comics. And her story, you got a glimpse of it with her husband and the sword, and her husband's soul is in that sword. And I just thought it was really interesting, and I really wish they could have just expanded on it more. Alright. Jared Leto. Now, if you were listening to my story, Jared Leto is the whole reason I got interested in this movie in the first place, because Jared Leto, I love. Like, he's close to Michael Fassbender. And I've mentioned Michael Fassbender a lot in my videos, if you've watched them. He is definitely one of my all-time favorite actors. I was so excited to see him as the Joker. I go to the movie, I hear that he's not in it as much as he wanted to be. When I actually saw the movie in theaters, I didn't think he was, like, barely on the screen, actually. It was more when I came back and thought about it that I realized he was barely part of the plot at all. And that got me a little mad. You just get a glimpse of the Joker. You just get a glimpse of him. But I really want to see what Jared Leto could have done with it. I feel like he could have been an amazing Joker. Did he leave an impression on me? Yeah, absolutely. There's been mixed reviews about his Joker, but for me, I really liked his Joker. I just didn't see enough to what could absolutely become of that. That was really frustrating for me. The Joker was the character I was looking forward to the most. He's supposed to be the main center person. That's how they advertised it. And guess what? He's barely in the movie. Come on now. I was waiting for him to come back. Like the part he pushes Harley Quinn out of the airplane. You're supposed to think that he died, but of course he didn't die. Come on, we know better than that. But I was expecting him to come in at the end, maybe mess things up as they're trying to defeat the main villain, or just anything of that nature. Maybe even try and help them in some crazy, ridiculous way. But no. It was frustrating. He was barely in this, and I feel like if he was in it more, people would be saying he was a really amazing Joker. He didn't get enough screen time for you to actually make a judgment on his Joker. That's what I feel like. Now, I did hear, though, they are doing Justice League, and I did hear he's going to be the Joker in that. So listen, I want more Joker. Justice League, that's your main villain. I want him to be a super duper awesome villain, okay? We got that straight. I just had to clear that up for them. I feel like it would have even been more impactful if, say, like, the Joker wasn't really in it at all, but, like, he appeared at the end. Like, the moment where he, like, breaks Harley Quinn out of the prison, and he goes, "Let's go home," at the very end, that would have even been cooler as, like, a lead up to the Justice League, that he's going to be the main villain. I don't know if Harley Quinn's in the Justice League. Yo no sé. Just saying, that would have been really cool, too. I just feel like they put him in there and they advertised him as a really main character that it was just so disappointing for people to see he was barely in this movie at all. But Jared did a good job. Jared did a good job. I approve Jared if you ever for some reason see this video. So Cara Delevingne, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Cara Delevingne plays the archaeologist June Moon / the Enchantress. Her as the archaeologist was great. She played the archaeologist really, really well, and you felt for her a little bit. The Enchantress wasn't necessarily she did a bad job. I think she did fine with the Enchantress. I just didn't like the Enchantress's storyline. Because here's the thing. From what I got out of the trailers and everything for Suicide Squad was that there was this giant villain that was coming into the town and that it was so bad and they didn't have like Superman to protect them and Batman's busy that they had to form this group of villains in order to defeat a super duper villain. The way they did it made it that one of the members of the Suicide Squad is the main villain. It basically leaves the impression that if the Suicide Squad was never formed, this catastrophe never would have happened. That's what I mean by I didn't really like the Enchantress being the main villain. I think it would have been better, maybe if there was a secret motive more behind Viola Davis doing this. That would have been interesting. Or I think it would have been a lot more interesting and impactful if like you had a super duper main villain that was separate from the Suicide Squad and then one of the Suicide Squad members turns on them. I mean, this was interesting. It had its elements. Like, you're waiting the whole time to see which one of them is going to turn on the others because, let's face it, they're villains, that's what they do. So it would have been really more impactful if they had a separate villain just away from them all. And then, like, the Enchantress turns evil and joins. You know, they kind of tried to do that with Harley Quinn at the end. That type of thing would have been good for, like, halfway in the movie. And you have, like, Harley Quinn and the Enchantress, like, ganging up if you're going to make the Enchantress the main villain. Plot point that I did like was with Joel Kinnaman's character, Rick Flag. I really liked that they had him being in love with June Moon, the Enchantress. Because in seeing the trailers, it really just looked like he was Viola Davis's like guard dog, basically. Adding in that element, he has this person who's technically a villain that he cares for. That made it a lot more interesting because that raised the stakes a ton. You know that something is probably going to happen to her in some way that's going to affect him. Her being the main villain, I don't know, it just didn't work exactly, but I completely got what they were going for, and that was really, really interesting. I really did like it. My main thing, I think, is that they had elements of a really good plot and everything, it's just that they didn't expand it enough, if that makes any sense. The Joker. Some of the backstories needed to be expanded a little bit more. It was like the edits were so quick that you didn't have time to explain anything. It was like, okay, this is there, okay, this is there. It was that type of feeling a little bit. My favorite scene, though, was definitely the bar scene. That was really, really great. They're all bonding and having a fun time, and just that scene was really a really great scene overall. Despite its faults, I do think that Suicide Squad was a really good movie. It was entertaining, you had the action-packed points in it, which were really great, and all the actors did a really remarkable job. And everybody did a remarkable job. But overall, I really did enjoy myself. I really had fun. Could have been better, could have been like mind-blowing, but it was fun. And that's my main thing, is that a movie entertained me, and I had fun, and I didn't feel like I wasted my time going. For those of you who haven't seen Suicide Squad, first of all, I told you to get out of here for the spoilery section, but just in case you didn't, go check it out. Give it a shot. My philosophy, as always with books or movies, even if I don't like it, I will tell you to go and watch it or go and read it. Because guess what? A book or movie that I absolutely hate, you could end up loving. I didn't hate this movie. I'm saying I really liked it, and I don't know if I'm in the minority on that. So just give it your own opinion. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening to me. As always, if you have any other book or movie recommendations, leave them in the comments below, or any other video type things you might want to see. I don't know what you want to see. Don't know why I'm doing that. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful, awesome evening, day, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is. And don't forget to be awesome. All right, have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me. Go watch Suicide Squad. Goodbye.